conscious of family life and the dog and everything else, um, I ask all of my guests two main questions. One, which you kind of half answered before, but I'll give you the chance to kind of answer it again if you want to answer anything different. Is that if you were to give advice to your younger self, and this can be any age, any point in your career, whatever, what would it be?
Um, if it was me, if I was saying to myself, I left myself too long unhappy,
Wow.
and I was too long unhappy at something, and it is be more aware. At this time of mindfulness, this time that people talking about mental health, I'm from that, sort of again from that kind of family upbringing that you don't talk,
Mm-hmm.
you don't talk about feelings, and you don't talk about these things. You don't talk when there's pressure on you. You don't you I talk, but at the time I didn't talk. I
Okay.
didn't. So I left myself too unhappy with something, and I just did it because I had kids and I had a family and I had responsibilities, and I did it goes, it'll be all right tomorrow. There'll be a career, it's my career and all this. No, if I had to tell myself to go back and do it again, it's, sometimes, you don't have long enough to be unhappy.
It's a very deep answer, but actually I really like it. It's one that you can properly kind of ponder over. And actually, like just for one of my clients, I'm actually interviewing people tomorrow. And it's, I know a lot of people that do stay in jobs for a long time and they're genuinely unhappy, but it's also because the fear of change, and it's a
Yeah.
very nuanced answer, but it's a very good one.
I was institutionalized. I was scared to move on to something
Yeah.
else. So I get that.
And then related to this, what's the best piece of advice you've ever had?
Well, the one I said earlier on is obviously, you get advice from everybody. People will always try and give you advice, and people will always try and tell you something else. But sometimes it's the little daft things that stick with you. Um, and somebody told me when I was, this is not profound or anything that's going to change your world. But I was always told that whenever you go out and do meetings with people, never wear a shirt that shows sweat marks. Oh, never show it. The thing is, and it's a jokey thing to say, but it's never let someone show that you go into a meeting and you know that you're stressed and you know that you're under pressure.
Hmm.
But that is, you don't give away telltale signs where you don't need to. That was always, it's something stupid and daft, but it's always been in my head. And it doesn't have to be the big things.
Mm-hmm.
This is, it sort of comes round to what is the what is the best bit of advice. But sometimes it's the little things that people tell you that trigger with you and matter the most. I just always remembered that there's always two videos that people have shown me in my life that have always resonated really well with me. One of them is a thing called Ducks and Eagles. So if you look it up on YouTube, it's some guy owns an enormous business up in America, and he talks about ducks and eagles, about how the people who complain are ducks because a complainer will find a complainer, and the people who rise above that are eagles. I've always loved that one. And the other one is, the jar with stones. You fill it with big stones. They say, is it full? You put more and put in more and more. And then the last thing is, by the time you've put the big rocks, the small ones, and whatever else into it, crack a beer and throw it into it. Irrespective of whether it's the big things in life, the small things in life, there's always time for a beer with your mates. And, they're the kind of things that resonate with me a lot, because in this time, I'm missing those things. I'm missing going out for a beer with my mates. It is the big thing. I do my job to cover the big things, but I have started to understand more of the little things,
No, I've got you.
And be more present and more there for those things. And I did spend a lot of time being a duck and falling into processes, falling into procedures and complaining. And I'm not saying that banking people are like that. That was just me. I started to fall into that. And for so many years, I wanted to be that person that shot off and and attacked everything. And then I let myself, I was always perceived to be that eagle. And then by the end of it, I let my wings get clipped and became a duck.
Profound. No, I think it's a good one.
Oh yeah, but there's more in this old shiny head than that,
I find it quite funny because this is the least I've ever spoken in 53 minutes in an interview. And I've interviewed like 20 odd people. But it's good. But it's all fascinating stuff.